Honors fans, and welcome in to another edition of the Off the Record podcast. I'm Trevor Cabea. Thanks so much for joining us on this edition of the show, where we sit down with one of the newest honors, forward Ulysses Lombardi, talk a little bit about life in the Ontario Hockey League, how he's fit in so far here in the flagship city, and get into what he likes to do away from the rink. Come along, let's have some fun. All right, we're here with one of the newest Erie Honors. Got a couple of months down, maybe about a month or so down in the OHL. Month and a half, we'll give it to him. Ulysses Lombardi, man, what's going on? Thanks so much for taking some time.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Absolutely, man. Great to have you on the show, and obviously great to have you here in Erie, PA, and obviously getting the opportunity at this level has got to be a lot of fun. So let's get right into it. Tell me about your hockey career, getting started, and, you know, kind of your upbringing leading you to this point.
Yeah, of course. I started playing hockey when I was around 2 or 3 years old. It started like my brother played hockey. I had an older brother, Amadeus, and my grandpa had an outdoor rink in his backyard, and my dad kind of just trained us on that. Kind of learned to skate, and then got into kind of opti hockey as a kid. And when I was 6 years old, I started playing just a year up, and kind of home style hockey. And then I made the jump to AAA when I was about 8 years old, and then that's kind of just been that.
Yeah, so, just kind of going, just rising up the years, right?
Yeah, and then I played a bunch of AAA, and then my U16 year, I got drafted, and then I went back for a year of U18, which was unreal, had a blast. And then after that, I started in Whitecourt this year in the AJHL, had just a little bit of confusion with kind of the living situation. There's a rule you can't really play in that league until you're 18 unless you're from Alberta, so it was tough. I had to come back, but played with the Siskins for a bit in the Gouge, and that was a blast. You know, everyone there was unreal. It was awesome. I had a good time. I was playing pretty well, and then I got the call, and yeah, ever since just been here. Happy to be here.
Absolutely, man. So talk to me about, you know, some of those years, those formative years, and how they've allowed you to kind of develop into the player that you become.
Yeah, I was always kind of a pretty tall kid, pretty big, and I was always kind of I don't want to say one of the better players, but I was pretty skilled growing up, and I think I just had good vision, and so I kind of trained at that for a while, and then, you know, for a little bit I got some bad injuries. I broke my ankle in U16, which kind of hindered me for a bit. It's kind of something tough, but I broke my wrist in U14 as well. So those were kind of two pivotal years where instead of getting a lot of development, I was kind of rehabbing. But yeah, I mean, everyone's got to go through it. So it's something that, you know, if I do end up in the future getting an injury, I kind of know the situation. I kind of know how to go through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's obviously not a lot of fun. But again, some of the time away can obviously kind of give you a new perspective almost on the game and of the opportunity that you have to play the game. But at the same time, right, it sucks in the moment, but is that almost, again, something you kind of look back on as maybe an important kind of moment?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was kind of watching the game from above. When you go to watch your team play, when you're injured, you know, you're watching from the stands, you realize where you have more time and space than you would realize on the ice because you're not able to see that. So you realize where certain areas of the ice have more time and space, certain plays you could make with that time and space, and kind of just the motivation to get back, the drive. You know, when you're hurt, you're not playing, you kind of can't work out, so it's kind of a mental battle more than a physical battle. So if you can overcome that, adversity's pretty good. Adversity's your friend. So
yeah, absolutely. And again, that mental battle, it's a mental battle when you're out there on the ice regardless, right? So you almost train your brain battling back from an injury, and then it just make yourself mentally stronger, I guess, overall.
Yeah, like kind of getting even just a little adversity's bad shift. Took a hard hit or something, you know, missed a golden opportunity. So kind of those little things, if you can kind of train your mental on the ice and off the ice, you know, I think that's just as important as training your body. So
yeah, absolutely. And I think that something that I think is really grown, especially as this game has grown over the last, you know, few years, is the mental side of the game and being more of an important, you know, aspect of something that becomes more of a point of emphasis, especially recently.
Yeah, I think, you know, kind of in the past, mental health and hockey players was really looked at a lot. There was a little bit of a stigma just around, you know, we're tough guys for the most part, not me, but most of us are pretty tough. And
I mean, you got to be pretty tough to make it to this league, man.
Yeah,
come on.
I don't know about that. I'm trying to get tougher. So, but there is kind of a stigma around, kind of just be tough, kind of battle through it. And it takes a lot to open up and kind of, ask for help. There's nothing wrong for it. So I think a lot more players nowadays are kind of coming out and kind of reaching out for that help. So I think it's very big for the sport.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's something that's huge for the sport and obviously huge for the game to be able to, have that. And obviously, the league has done a great job, I think, in terms of, putting that emphasis on it more. And again, even the mental side of the game itself, a guy battling through an injury, that's not easy to do. And to be able to kind of fight through that has been huge. Obviously, again, for you, who's kind of dealt with some adversity, it feels like the payoff of now having the opportunity to play at this level is certainly worth it.
Yeah, no, it feels unreal. There was so many years where you go to camps and you're disappointed, you want a better result, and kind of just a lot of battles with parents, brother, trainers, just whatever, even if it's little things, all those people want the best for you. So just kind of when you kind of get that opportunity, kind of get that final shot, you kind of look back and take a big sigh. You never know where you're going to play next year. It's always kind of iffy. It is a business. Hockey is a business. So especially when you get picked up by an organization as great as the Otters, it's a big sigh of relief. So very happy to be here.
100%. Obviously, you get drafted by Flint. Don't play a game for them, but obviously, working your way through that organization, you get the call that you're going to get traded. What was that like? And you mentioned almost maybe a sigh of relief, knowing that there'd be a little more opportunity.
Yeah. So I was drafted by Flint, and great organization, very good team this year, and they treated my brother very well when he was there. So I got drafted. I went to 2 of their camps. So it was nice to kind of get that call because I was in the Goj. I didn't really know what I was going to play. I was talk with my agent all the time, being like, hey, what's the word? I was playing very well, and not to be anything like that, but in a humble way.
Hey, if you're playing well, man, you can say you're playing well.
I was playing pretty well, and I was just kind of talking with my agent, my brother, and my family, being like, hey, what's the move? What's going on? And we weren't really hearing anything from Flint. They were a very good team. It's a very tough.
Almost odd man out, right?
Yeah, it's very tough to get called up, so you're kind of nervous. You're sweating. You're like, where am I going to play next year? What's going on? It's nervous, and kind of the call came out of nowhere. I was just at my billet house, woke up for a practice, 5 o'clock practice, and I woke up and I got the call, and they kind of said, yeah, you're coming out here for a week, and then came out kind of on tryout, I guess, and I got the call I was getting traded, and just a big sigh of relief. I was treated very well when I got here, even before they traded for me. So, yeah, it was a big sigh of relief for me and my family. Very, very grateful. So
yeah, have that opportunity to again come here and get in the lineup, and obviously talk to me about how important that has been for you to be in the lineup and obviously showcase your skill at the OHL level.
Yeah, I feel like every game you get better. Little things like my first game was a really tough adjustment. You feel like you're always a step behind. You feel like your brain doesn't work, and you feel like your body doesn't want to cooperate with you. That's just kind of shaking off the nerves, shaking off the rust. It's I still get nervous. I've been here for a month and a half, and I still get nervous, even in practice or even in games. That happens to anyone. It could be here for a year, and you're still going to get nervous. It's a big stage. You want to impress. But the teammates and the coach staff just been great, kind of settling me in. I think getting games is very good for me right now. I've played 7 games, so every game I feel like I'm getting better. I'm kind of getting more adjust to the game, the style, the pace, all of that. So, the speed is definitely a big adjustment, but kind of every game you can stack on. So I think more the merrier. So.
Yeah, 100%. And you mentioned the nerves, right? It's almost one of those things you'd be almost more worried if you weren't nervous, right?
Yeah.
Obviously making that jump, and obviously big difference in terms of the pace of play, the style, the amount of bodies in the building. Talk to me about some of the differences between playing in the GOHL versus the OHL.
Well, I think the biggest thing is the lights. This is going to be weird, but I don't got very good eyesight. So kind of the big lights was tough. It was a tough adjustment first couple of games, just kind of getting used to it. I'm all good now, but that was tough. Just the fans, we would get 400, 300 fans in the Goj on a good Sunday, but here there's 3,000 people, and every little play, every chip out, every hit, every dump, and they're going crazy. So I think we have the best fans in the league. They go bananas, and I love it. But that was definitely an adjustment. But the pace was definitely the biggest adjustment. It's a lot different. It's a lot quicker. It's a lot smarter, faster. everything. Guys don't think out here; they just go off intuition. So you have to get adjusted to that. You kind of have to play that style, and then you can let the skill show.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen the skill show a little bit as well. And, again, you hear that so often from players is the speed. Speed. Even the jump from minor midget to the OHL, just the sheer pace of the game. That's why it takes younger players, usually a good year to get adjusted to the OHL before they really start to take over the game. So, again, that always fascinates me. And obviously, I can imagine your brother plenty of help in terms of being by your side and helping you through the adjustment to this level.
Yeah, my brother's my best friend. He's the best. He helps me with everything. Off ice, on ice. He's a fantastic player and probably the most skilled player I've ever seen in my life. Some of the things he does on the ice, and he'll always tell people that I'm the more skilled brother, but he's just being humbled. That he's a very special player, and he helps me all the time. I'll ask him, hey, I did this in practice. I kind of messed up. Like, what do I got to do? He'll call me, help me out with that. Like, watches all my games. So he'll call me after every game. Doesn't harp on me ever. Kind of just, hey, like, I thought you played good, but maybe change this up. So he was in the league for 2 years. He had 2 very good years his rookie year. He had almost point per game, and then he had the 100-point year the year after. I think he holds the record in Flint right now. So, yeah, he's special, and he's honestly such a big help. He's my best friend, so.
Yeah, he was a joy to watch in this league. Obviously, it was not a joy from an honors perspective to watch, but man, dazzling player, and obviously doing some great stuff in the American Hockey League right now, and he'll be in the NHL at some point within the next couple of years for sure. I mean, just the skill, the way he played the game, yeah, he was a thrill to watch. And obviously, you think back to that, really the last time the Firebirds had a year like they're having this year. I mean, your brother was a big part of that.
Yeah, it was his rookie year, and he also had to get adjusted. He was a year older than me. He was 18, so he had a pretty big year, and he had a pretty good playoff run. He got picked in the 4th round as a draft +1, which is pretty hard. So, he's definitely got it.
Yeah,
so
he's in a good spot.
He is. He's been battling some injuries. He broke his back last year. He broke his spine in 3 places, and then just this year he broke his wrist. Just came back from a broken wrist, so he's doing pretty well. We're very proud of him, and he's an animal. So
yeah, and again, you guys have maybe the best pair of names in the OHL: Amadeus Lombardi and Ulysses Lombardi. It doesn't get much better than that from a broadcast perspective.
Yeah, our dad's pretty creative. So we got a sister named Symphony as well.
Okay, that's pretty sick too. Yeah,
we all got some pretty cool names. I mean, I like to think I got the best one.
It was pretty good.
But
were you named after the general or
no? Odysseus.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Iliad, yeah. So it's just like the Latin translation. So I think we all got some pretty good names. That's mostly due to our parents. They're pretty creative people. So
that's sick. I mean, again, it rolls off the tongue beautifully when when you're doing my job. Makes my job a little easier. So. Always awesome. But yeah, obviously, your time in Erie so far, again, you mentioned just kind of the growth in your game. Just talk to me about, the settling in process here in Erie and just, again, adjusting to life in the OHL.
Yeah, I think the biggest adjustment is, you got to eat a lot healthier. You can't be, I find that when I was in the Goj, kind of you're just grabbing things that are in the house. You're just putting them in your mouth after the game, after practice. You're going, Burger King or whatever. But
hey,
nothing wrong with
Nothing wrong with that.
The biggest kind of adjustment I made was just kind of cleaning up my diet, kind of trying to make whole foods, keep it simple, like chicken, rice, vegetables. So my billet dad's very good. We go to the grocery store, he kind of gets me whatever I need. So that's been something that's been helping me adjust a lot. On ice-wise, it's kind of just keeping it fun. You don't want to overstress yourself. Obviously, there is an element of wanting to care and wanting to care as much as you can, but don't get it to the point where it becomes not fun. Hockey's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to be out there laughing with your teammates. You want to be serious. You want to get drills done, but there still has to be kind of an element of happiness, fun. You're still a kid. I'm 17, so you kind of go back to the days when you were 5, 6 years old, and all you just wanted to do was play hockey and laugh. So I think that's the biggest thing that has helped me a lot, is kind of just getting to know guys. Guys have been great, and just sharing some laughs on the ice.
That's huge, man, because again, like at the end of the day, obviously it's a high pressure, high watched, high octane league that obviously there's a lot of eyes on you, but at the end of the day, like you mentioned, you're a 17-year-old out here looking to prove yourself and playing a kids game really for your job right now, right? Like that's what it's about. And, being able to have that and obviously, developing your game to try to move yourself to the next level and obviously be a part of the framework of what's being built here is huge, right? And I can imagine that. I mean, that's just the perfect mindset to have because again, it can be tough at times, I can imagine, but at the same time, like, not a bad life.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad life at all. We get treated fantastic. There's always someone in a worse situation, and our situation's very, very good. So we get treated like gold by all the management and the staff. We don't have to worry about a single thing off the ice. We just kind of have to perform on the ice, which doesn't discredit any problems that you may be having, but it kind of just makes you a little bit more grateful. I think something that really helps us all is routine. If you have a pro routine, a pro regiment, it kind of makes your life a lot easier. So like you kind of wake up, you do your school, you're at the rink, work out, skate, and it kind of makes things a lot more clear in your mind. You don't have to stress about when I'm going to be doing this, when I'm going to be doing that. So I think that's the biggest thing is we get treated very well.
Yeah, and again, routine is so helpful. I'm kind of the same way, right? Like I need usually, this, and this like done this day, and then kind of breaking that up it always makes the week go a little bit faster. And then once you get all the other stuff done, you get to play a game.
Yeah.
And you get to the games for me, right? That's the reward for all the hard work during the week.
Yeah, when we're out practicing all week and. Sometimes we beg, sometimes we deserve it, and most of the time we deserve it, but it's never to kind of punish us, it's always helping us, and I think when you're working your bag off all week, the reward is to kind of go out there and battle with your boys on the ice, kind of do your thing, have fun with it, but yeah, no, we love the games. Games are unreal.
That's what it's all about, and obviously for you, it's been a little bit tough, obviously here, but an exciting framework being built, and for you, almost a guy who you can see as being maybe one of the pillars of what's being built here in Erie. How exciting is that for you of, being a young guy with so much of a high ceiling, certainly is to be looked at, as a guy who could really contribute down the line here?
Yeah, it's unreal. Like, I'm so excited for the next year and the year after that. And, yeah, we're building something really special. I know we got rid of some guys and, we hasn't been the best lately, but everyone has still been buying in. Everyone in the room is still bought in. It's going to click on the ice. I'm very excited for the next couple of years. We're going to build something really special. I think, our coach Malley is one of the best coaches in this league. I think, our GM, he's a top GM. Like he gets stuff done. He talks to us every day. He's in the room talking to us. He's letting us know that we have a big future here, and we're really excited to get started, and I'm really excited to be part of it. Very special. We're fortunate.
Yeah, that's exciting. And obviously, yeah, Chris Millette is as good as it gets. He's been a dream to deal with from our side. What's it like working with him on the ice day in and day out?
Oh man, you see him at first, and he's like 6'8", and he's like this massive guy. He's like a bear. Like
he's
you feel
huge, and I think his personality almost adds to that, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just like he's just a big guy.
He's a big dude, and he's scared. Like my first day here, I was terrified of him, and then you get on the ice and you're doing the drills, and something that kind of makes guys nervous is if they mess up.
Yeah.
And I messed up like one of my very first drills here, my first practice, and just kind of comes up to me and cracks a joke, gives me a pat on the back, and kind of just like drop your guard. It is scary to see a guy that big and be like, oh wow, I got to impress this guy. He's massive, he's terrifying, but he's a really good guy, and he's a really good, not only hockey coach, but he's a good players coach.
Yes.
He's very good in the room, very easy to talk to. Like I don't ever feel like I'm worried when I got to go talk to him about a problem or something. So him and Keenan, they're unreal. And
yeah, and obviously for Keenan, a younger guy as well, it's got to be easy to relate as well for somebody your age. Guy that's only 10 years older than you, has had experience in this league. He's played in Flint, obviously an organization well. Yeah. So I can imagine that helps the transition process a little bit.
Yeah, Keenan's been unreal. He's funny. He's a funny guy, and sometimes he feels like one of the teammates almost who's in the room chatting it up, and then we get out there and he's a very good coach. He's a very good skills coach. He's a very good power play coach. He's great. you can turn on that professionalism like that, but he likes to kind of let loose, kind of chat with the guys, and I think that's something that really helped me kind of get incorporated. Him and our coach Kenny. Kenny has been unreal for me, kind of getting incorporated into practices and stuff, and you know, he gives me advice after every practice, even if sometimes, you know, he doesn't tell you what you want to hear, he tells you what you need to hear, and that's all you can really ask for out of a coach. So him and Keen have been really good.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Great guys. Always enjoy chatting it up with those guys. And again, very well experienced within this league, and they know what it takes to win in this league as well. And again, you mentioned Keenan's ability on the ice. I mean, he's an unbelievable skater. Every time I watch him skate, man, just like ridiculous. I wish I could skate that good, man. Like,
great skater. I don't know about the hands, but fantastic skater. No, he is pretty skilled. He's got some good hands. We'll be playing two-puck, and he'll pull some moves on. You're like, where'd that come from?
Where'd that come from?
But
hey, you're a pretty good skill guy yourself, though. We've seen that.
I'd like to think so, but
yeah, I mean,
it's
like
not the whole game.
The one that jumps out for me is the pass to Tyler Cooper and Sarnia for the goal. I mean, that was pretty wicked.
Yeah, well, Tyler's he's a good player. He's very good.
What's it been like working with him? Because I feel like you two have had some pretty good chemistry out on the ice.
Yeah, my second game, we were in Flint. My first game, I like to kind of just think as just a wash. It was tough, and it was kind of just an adjustment game. I had lots of fun, but it was a tough adjustment. So my second game, going into the game, I kind of thought, okay, like, you had your one kind of let go, you know, let it go, and but now you actually have to kind of lock in, do your thing. It's not all fun and games. So he was really important. Kind of just, you know, you get back to the bench, this guy doesn't yell at you. He doesn't. He's pretty calm, and he's just an easy guy to work with. You know, you give him the puck, you trust him with the puck, he'll trust you with the puck. So kind of playing with him, my second game in Flint, I set him up for a nice goal, and yeah, like, we'll be talking on the bus. Some things we want to try out in games, and he's very nice. He's a pleasure to play with, honestly. He's so young and he's so talented. You see the player he's going to become, and he's going to be massive for this organization in the next couple of years. Yeah.
Keep that connection, man. Lombardi to Cooper on the you know, the line for the Otters here. We'll see if that's something that, you know, continues over these next couple of years. Again, a couple of young players with a very exciting, bright future. And yeah, again, chemistry has been easy to see, you know, on the ice and building from there. So let's step away from the rink a little bit, chat a little bit about you. A couple of things I want to ask about. First of all, I know you're a big soccer guy. We talked about that with our last guest. Talk to me a little bit about your relationship with the beautiful game.
Yeah, no, so I'm Italian. Big soccer household. I played growing up, and then my dad was kind of like, all right, focus on hockey. But me, my brother, my sister, all of us played growing up. And our grandpa played professional soccer, and yeah, he kind of got us into it. We're big Italians.
He played at Lazio, right?
Yeah, he played professional in Lazio, and then he came and he played for Toronto, Croatia, or something like that. So he's an incredible guy. My grandfather, he's, you know, soul of the earth, and he kind of got us all into soccer, and it's kind of a connection that our whole family has together. We're big Forza Azzurri fans. We love the Azzurri, so. Yeah, we kind of watch soccer on Sundays, and we're at home during the summer with our grandfather. It's kind of just something we do. Me and my brother like to go just kick it on the pitch kind of on our off days, so it's nice. It's very fun. It's awesome sport.
Awesome sport, man. It is. It's the best. Like, it's my Saturday and Sunday morning traditions from August to May, and it just, you know, looking forward to the World Cup coming up next year. Obviously, we'll see if the Azzurri qualify. I mean, we'll see, but
yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't know. We'll see. I have one of my big things is collecting soccer jerseys. I have a few classic Italy kits in my collection. So.
What's your best jersey you got?
I've got so I'm a huge Man United fan.
Sorry, not best. Your favorite.
My favorite. That's tough. Probably United's 90 to 92 away shirt, which is I don't know if you've seen it. Maybe flash it up on screen if that's a possibility. But it's like a powder blue with like the M design, like it's like a snowflake design all the way through. Unbelievable. Paid a lot of money for one, but Very much worth it. That's a good one. I have a USA's 94 away shirt, which is like kind of like a jean design almost. It has stars all over it. It's pretty cool. So I'm thinking and I'm hoping that for the World Cup this year, with the U.S. obviously being one of the hosts, they kind of dig back into that design for the year that the last time they hosted back in 94. So those are a couple. I'll give you one more. Is Ajax did a Bob Marley shirt a couple of years ago. I have that one. That was a pain to get because it sold out everywhere. Because Bob Marley is just such like an icon, right? And obviously, connection to the club is they sing Three Little Birds before every game. So they did a shirt, with kind of the Jamaican flag. It's sick. So do you have any good ones in your?
Yeah, my dad got me for my birthday when I was a kid. He got me a Balotelli jersey.
Okay.
Milan. So
Nice.
That's pretty nice. I love that one. Kaká, got a Kaká jersey
Nice,
as well.
that's a good one too. I remember when he played at Orlando City, like late in his career in MLS.
Yeah, he's so fun to watch. I'll just sometimes I just turn on my computer and watch some Kaká highlights. So him and kind of Balotelli. I got a Tutti jersey, the 2002 powder blue Italian jersey, kind of like the little neck guard.
Yeah,
those ones are pretty sweet. So
like the tight Kappa.
Yeah.
That's
those are nice. And I got some tracksuits, some Italian tracksuits.
Nice. I always love a good jacket. I don't have enough in my collection. Yeah. Like the soccer jackets they're sick. Like I love a good tracksuit. Like it's a good look. Like
I'll always go like out thrifting and just kind of look for them.
Yeah.
They're tough to find.
They are, especially here.
Yeah. Like at home, I found a really nice one that I like. But
maybe I'll have to go thrifting on the road then and try to find this stuff. Like I just buy it all on the internet now, but like.
Yeah, you kind of got to watch because sometimes you end up overpaying. Like sometimes.
Yeah,
I'll get up at the cash register and I'll be like, oh, I don't know if that's the play,
but sometimes you get the opposite effect, right? Where you get a really good deal.
This is gonna be expensive, and then they scan, and you're like, all right,
not bad.
That's pretty good.
I mean, sometimes though the '90s jerseys can run you a couple $100 a pop. Like they're not.
Anything vintage, really.
Exactly. I feel like it's more in style now, right? Like vintage clothing is.
I'm big on vintage clothing. I'm just big into clothes, fashion. Fashion music's kind of my thing outside of hockey. But I find that in the summer, me and my brother like to go thrifting together, and it kind of gets a little pricey. I'm never the one paying.
Oh, there you go. Hey, he's got the pro hockey contract. You're all good.
I'm free 99, but we like to joke around. I don't know if you've seen the show Entourage, but we like to say that I'm Johnny Drama. He's Vinny Chase.
Okay.
Because he's Mr. Big Shot. But we'll go out together. We'll get some clothes, and he always ends up paying. Pretty good guy, so.
Unbelievable.
Smooch off him.
Might as well, right? And build your collection, and then when it's your time in playing pro hockey, you kind of return the favor, right?
Yeah, I always say put on my tab.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll get them in the future.
Get them back.
Maybe.
Get them back.
Maybe.
Now, do you have any other pieces of vintage clothing that in a thrift that you were like, oh, I got a really good one, or anything that stick out?
I got a 1994 Calgary Flames jacket.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is pretty nice. I got a Carolina Panthers jacket from the 2000s.
Nice.
Which I love. And I like only get my T-shirts from thrifted stores.
So you going for vintage sports clothing then?
Yeah, I usually go for T-shirts and sports jackets, some pants. I thrifted these as well, but I'm big into the sports jackets.
Nice.
That's my style.
That's sick, man. We could talk for days about that kind of stuff because obviously I'm a big jersey guy. I love the history of uniforms and everything, and when it comes to the aesthetic of the 90s NFL too is so cool, the old starter jackets and everything.
I love the starter jackets.
Yeah,
I 4 or 5 of them.
Do you ever get a couple of good ones?
Yeah, I got
that Flames one.
I got
or
the
Flames
one. I got the Panthers one as well, and then I also I got a University of Harvard one, which I really like, and University of what was it? I think it's Ohio State. I got some of those ones that are nice too, but you always end up getting a size up just because you like it so much, you end up buying it. But those, and I'm big into Sambas, so I got about 3 or 4 pairs of those. Those are nice. Yeah,
the thing too with those type of jackets is when you're wearing that, it's pretty obvious it's kind of a style thing. That's not you're a fan of that team thing, which is nice. Same thing with shirts. If you put on a certain club, it's pretty, if you have a Dortmund shirt on, most people know, okay, you're just wearing a Dortmund shirt to wear a Dortmund shirt. I feel like it's kind of the same thing for like that kind of aesthetic, right? Like
Yeah.
you're throwing on a Flames jacket. It doesn't necessarily mean you're a Flames fan, but like you like the look of it. I've got a couple Flames jerseys in my collection.
Yeah.
I do hockey jerseys as well. I got a couple of those. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's a sweet hobby to have. Like
Yeah, just picking up clothes, like, buying stuff you like. Treat yourself sometimes. So
absolutely.
big into that.
100%. You mentioned music as well.
Mm-hmm.
You have maybe the biggest catalog of different. You'll just come onto the bus singing a different song, different genre
Yeah.
every time. I love that. Like, where'd
Yeah.
your love for music come from? And let's talk a little bit about some tunes.
That's all my dad. My dad he's a musical genius. He was in a band called Atomic and Dropkick Me Jesus from early '90s into the early 2000s, and then ended up having my brother. But that guy's a special musician. So like growing up, he'd always play kind of the best music for me. My brother, my sister, that's what we grew up listening to was the Beatles, Stones, Led Zeppelin, all that stuff, like above and beyond. So me and my brother and my sister are really big into music, especially me and my brother. So we like buying CDs, we like buying records. I play guitar, so I got about 3 or 4 guitars. A lot of them are hand-me-down from my dad, but I've been playing since I was around 9 years old, and it's kind of something that, like, even if you have a bad game, you kind of come home and just unwind. You kind of take the stress off yourself. But music's massive in my family. My uncle was a drummer for my dad's band. He's big into that. He mixes tapes now, so it's really cool. Like music's the best.
We're not too far away from a full-on honors band. We got a lead singer in Ulysses Lombardi. We got a guitar player in Ulysses Lombardi.
Yeah.
We just start a band.
We should. Might as well.
Might as well. That'd be pretty awesome. Do you have a favorite artist, favorite album, maybe? I know that's putting you on the spot. That's a tough question.
There's so many.
Because I don't know if I can answer that. I'm a pretty big music guy as well.
I love classic rock, but then, like, Beatles, Stones, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin 4 is
so
unreal.
good.
But I'm also big into kind of early 2000s, late 90s rock. I like grunge. I like, I'm very big into Radiohead. I love Radiohead. I think they're fantastic. I like Lana Del Rey. Like, I think that's Ultraviolence is probably one of the best albums I've ever listened to. So definitely all up there. If I had to pick, though, like, you kind of have to go with a classic rock. You kind of got to go with the Beatles of some sort. So I think Abbey Road.
Yeah.
Or
Sgt. Pepper's.
Sgt. Pepper's is up there, but yeah, I like the Abbey Road album.
Abbey Road, yeah.
It's unreal.
Yeah,
so,
I'm a big music guy as well. Obviously, I did college radio for years, and that's where I kind of got more introduced to the '90s like grunge rock like kind of scene, because it was all rock station with college radio. So that's stuff you're playing. You're sitting in a studio for hours a day, just listening to music, and it was really kind of expanded my library a little bit of what I was into, and I think that was a really almost formative experience for me. Obviously a couple of years older than you are now, having that. So it was a really cool experience, and just kind of getting more into and understanding more about music. My dad is kind of still DJs a little bit on the side, so he collects music in terms of records. My sister collects records, so it's kind of similar for me too, to where it's something that's always been around in my house, and it's just a really cool thing to just vibe to.
Yeah, music's awesome. Music unites everyone. Like, you're sitting in the car, throw on music, you can chat.
It works for every situation.
It's awesome. Like, I think music is unreal, and me and my family are big into music, so I'm big into sometimes my dad, who's in a band, he plays guitar, so sometimes if you're having a tough day, you just kind of go down, strum a little bit, don't even got to say anything, just kind of jam out with him, which is nice. So it's awesome. Music is awesome. Even before the game, you throw on music.
I was gonna say, how does it kind of relate to your hockey career? Because I know sports and music kind of go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of big into. I like listening to music before games, but not too before. I like listening to it before we go out for warm up sometimes. I'm big into songs that kind of amp you up and get you going, but I'm also into like things that kind of calm you down. I like Bob Marley before games. I like the Beatles before games. Not necessarily something that you hear out of a player is they're trying to listen to things that get them amped up, but I kind of like to be calm going into game, kind of like my nerves kind of being a little suppressed. So big into listening to music before games. I think kind of puts you together.
What's usually the locker room vibe with music? Is it like you mentioned,
it's a lot of country and rap?
Yeah,
it's a lot of country and rap, which I don't have anything against, I'm not necessarily a fan of either, but I have nothing against country or rap. Any song could be a great song. So, I mean, I like what the boys put on in the room. I think Tristan's the DJ now, so
Okay.
so he's got some good.
I would say I could see him kind of being a pretty like all around the board music guy.
He's got some good music taste, so yeah.
That's got to help for sure too.
Yeah, it does. Like if you are a person that's big into country and rap, like you're not going in the room being like, okay, I need to have my playlist like this. Kind of just go in. He's got it bumping already, so the room's a good vibe.
Absolutely. So let's kind of take things back to the ice here as we put a bow on this. Obviously, for you, a young player in the OHL, getting adjusted to this level and growing in this level, how important is this year for your development? And how can this kind of set you up for success and especially staying power at this level?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think biggest thing is just kind of getting the feet going, kind of building on the little things, things that you are good at, get even better at them, things that you're not so good at, make them your kind of strongest point. So my biggest thing is kind of just work on gaining that extra step, kind of work on the little things of the game, because, if you do all the little things right, you're going to be a great player. So we have a really good development process that we're going into with the team, and, just like the little skills, kind of getting more confidence every single day in yourself and your abilities, kind of keeping that pro regimen of wake up, this, kind of keep it structured. And I think that just builds a good player. If you stick to a pro regimen, a pro routine like we have here, like you're just going to get better. Nothing to it.
Absolutely. So as we, again, kind of look ahead to the future for you and for this team, what are some goals for yourself? What are some goals for this team here as you kind of wrap up this 2025-26 season?
Goal for myself, I kind of just want to keep getting in the lineup, kind of keep getting adjusted to the game. I want to start being more impactful of a player. I'm a very patient guy, so I understand it's going to take time, but I kind of know my skill set. I know what I can do out there, and I do want to be more impactful, kind of more in the play. And for the team, like we have very good vibes in the room, so everyone's very happy. Just we're going to get rolling. We're a very skilled team. We work very hard, and we got some very good coaches. So it's going to come. It's only a matter of time. So we're hoping that these next 10, 15 games we're rolling, we're clicking. So yeah, very excited.
Absolutely. Ulysses, has been an absolute pleasure, man. Thanks so much for having me, man. Really appreciate the time.
Take care.
Absolutely. That's going to do it for another edition of the Off the Record podcast. Reminder, you can find us anywhere you get your podcasts. Just search OTT The Record. And every Thursday, we're live on the Gem City Sports Podcast Network presented by Rebich Investments. For our guest, Ulysses Lombardi, my name's Trevor Cabea. Thanks so much for joining us on another edition of Off the Record.